Yes, we're here with State Auditor Jim Ziegler, and Mr. Ziegler was actually the one who filed those ethics complaints against the governor, the one that we covered last Wednesday when the Ethics Commission referred those charges over to the DA's office and then to the AG's office. So now a big day. What do you make of all of this?
The system worked, and the elected officials in Montgomery, including myself, held accountable those few that violated their oath of office and that committed impeachable offenses. So we know that our rule of law can take care of a problem governor or any other official.
Now, it was actually just a few months ago, around last summer, where Mr. Ziegler was holding a news conference in his office. His office was just down the hall from the governor, where he had a chair there for the governor, and you were welcoming him to talk about all of the issues that we're talking about now. We've come quite a long way since then.
We have, and we had located a provision of the law that had never been used that allowed the state auditor to bring in the governor or any other state official to ask questions about the finances, and he chose not to cooperate. And that and 100 other things that he and his staff have done just added up to a need for a fresh start in Alabama.
Now, last Wednesday at that Ethics Commission meeting, the Ethics Commission referred those 4 Class B felonies over to the DA's office, and we learned today that those have been decreased to misdemeanors. How do you feel about that? Is that still justice served?
In terms of the criminal prosecution, Robert Bentley got off light. He was allowed to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanors and get a 30-day jail sentence suspended with 1 year of probation. And the big thing was that he is no longer governor, and the people of Alabama get a fresh start.
Did you have any doubt that this day wasn't going to happen and that we were going to have to see another month of impeachment hearings?
I really did not. We had the basic evidence a year ago. Now, it took a year for the investigation to pan out, but we had fullest confidence that it would. I would not have filed the ethics complaints if we didn't have the information to begin with.
Overall, are you satisfied with the outcome today?
Yes, I am, and I'm going to try my best. I know some things that the new governor and her staff need to know, and I'm going to try to help.
Do you think more needs to be done with now former Governor Bentley, or do you think that this closes the matter entirely?
It appears that on state charges and prosecutions, it's over. They reached an agreement. We don't know if the federal prosecutors agreed to this or were involved in it, so we could see that, and there could be some civil action to recover some of the money that the Bentley administration has wasted.
Now, just in this room, less than 20 minutes ago, Kay Ivey took this seat as the 54th governor, and she promised that her administration would be open, would be honest. What are your thoughts? Are you familiar with Kay Ivey?
Yes, and that's what we need, and my job is to be the check and balance in Montgomery, and I intend to hold her to that in the nicest way. I'm going to cooperate, but you can cooperate and be a tough check and balance at the same time.
Now, we heard from the Secretary of State that she's going to be finishing out the governor's 22 remaining months of his term, and then she could seek re-election. We've heard that you may be running for governor. Are you still going to be considering that?
I have not decided. I'm looking at it. We have to know, is the support out there? Can I raise the money to get my message out? And who will be the other candidates? What are the polls showing? So we're in what you might call an exploratory campaign.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Mr. Ziegler. Appreciate it.